became a fearless lobbyist in Sacramento at the age of 25, when women and women of color did not have, few had access to state or federal to be able to lobby. She organized field strikes, directed the grape, lettuce, and gallo wine boycotts, and led farm workers and campaigns for political candidates. She was also instrumental in the enactment of the Agricultural Labor Relations Act of 1975, which granted farm workers in California the right to collectively organize and bargain for better wages and work conditions. Like many of you, Dolores has inspired me to do more, say more, and be more. As a young girl in the early 1970s, I remember my family received a form letter from Dolores signed by her, asking us to join the monumental Great Boycott. And my family did. The seeds of my activism were planted then. In 1989, I worked for a national Latino civil rights organization, and I participated in a UFW demonstration here in Lincoln Heights. And Dolores and Cesar Chavez were both there, and I was honored and inspired to be marching alongside them. And then again, in 2000, when I was pregnant with my first son, our paths crossed at the Critical Race Theory Conference. She was the keynote speaker, and she sat with my partner Octavio and I for dinner, and she shared consejos with us about organizing and about being a mother of 11 children. Her intellect, her knowledge of community organizing, her fighting spirit, and her encouraging words moved me as an activist and as a future mother. Today, Dolores remains active with the Dolores Huerta Foundation and involved in voter registration, battles for school equity, leadership training in low-income and underrepresented communities, immigrant rights movement, and many other issues she tackles. She's been arrested over 20 times for nonviolent, peaceful union activities, and she's received some of the country's highest awards. In '93, she was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame. In 1998, she received the United States Presidential Eleanor D. Roosevelt Human Rights Award from President Clinton. And in 2012, President Obama awarded her the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And this past spring, Governor Brown declared April 10th to be Dolores Huerta Day in California. To complete this introduction of this incredible person and activist, I turn to the trailer of the 2000.
Dolores is an icon.
Dolores, the title is Dolores, Rebel, Activist, Feminist, Mother.
An icon.
She's a civil rights hero. She's the first general that I followed in war.
She's not afraid.
City of Los Angeles, where the Chicano movement started. And this is going to be kind of maybe a surprise to some of you. But the man who was really very instrumental in our Chicano movement was actually a gringo. His name was Fred Ross Sr. I don't know if anybody in the audience ever heard his name. Can I see hands of anybody good? I see a few. Oh, good. And the reason I say that is because Fred Ross was the organizer who first met with Eduardo Roybal. Ed Roybal, who started an organization along with Tony Rios and other veterans of the Second World War. They started an organization called the Community Service Organization. How many people have heard of that group? Whoa, that's really great. Thank you. And it was 3 years ago that Fred Ross got involved with, because Ed Roybal, who is because he was the first city councilman to the city of Los Angeles, first Latino congressman to the U.S. Congress. And when Ed Roybal had run for his first race, and he lost. And how many of you remember the Zoot Suit riots, okay? Okay, all of this is LA history. Well, what happened, they called them the Zoot Suit riots, but actually the people that were actually being attacked were many of the young Mexican Americans who used to wear their zoot suits. And sailors in the Navy during World War II came into East LA and started beating up the sailors. I mean, sailors started beating up the Mexican kids, right? And turning off their zoot suits, etc. And actually, the city council of Los Angeles got very concerned, and they said, look, what do we do about the Mexican problem? So they called this guy named Saul Alinsky out of Chicago, who had done a lot of work there with the Back of the Arts movement and getting the African American people together. And they called him in for consultation. And his answer was, they said, what do we do about this Mexican problem? And he said, well, what you have to do is help them get organized. And of course, that's the last thing they wanted to hear, right? And where I live, and I turned it over to the Meat Cutters Union, and it fell apart. So he said, farm workers will never have a union unless you and I do it. And I said, really, Caesar? He said, yes. And then he said in the next breath, and we were both pretty young then, in our early 30s, he said, there will never be a national union of farm workers in our lifetime. And I said, why, Caesar? He said, because the growers are too rich, they're too powerful, and they're too racist. Too rich, too powerful, and too racist. And he knew what he was talking about. He knew what he was talking about. And so I just want you to commemorate that moment that the United Farm Workers movement in the union, the Chicano movement, is on here. And the birthing place was where? Los Angeles, okay? Los Angeles. And then labor studies. Labor studies, because part of this whole right-wing wave that we're living in right now is to get rid of labor unions. And how many people know how we got the 8-hour day? There was a big demonstration in Chicago at the Haymarket. And in that demonstration, there was some violence, probably perpetuated by the people that were against the 8-hour day. And the labor leaders that fought for the 8-hour day, which all of us enjoy, did you know that they were executed? That they were hung? Marcel Chavez, and he's buried there in that place where I was born. So we've got to include all of this, and I know that there's so much that we have to teach, but at this moment, I think that is going to be our saving grace. It's going to be our saving grace, because these are things where we can have an influence, and that we can make sure that our history gets told. Because when we tell our history, then we are telling the history of the United States of America, but we are also telling a history that is going to save our country. It's going to save our country. You know, I think that's one of the things that we really have to dedicate ourselves to. I just came from a press conference, and I need to apologize for being late. But this press conference was about what's happening at the Supreme Court today, which Kavanaugh is being nominated to the Supreme Court. And for those of you that don't know, we've heard a lot about his history, about trying to get away with women's right to choose. And by the way, as you heard before, I have 11 children. My daughter Juanita has a couple of dogs and a couple of cats. She can decide over kids, and I think that's her choice, right? And that's what we have to deserve, that's what we have to defend. But also, he has a very bad history when it comes to workers' rights. And he has a very bad history when it comes to voting rights. So he actually cited in the North Carolina case where they were trying to make people have IDs to be able to vote, okay? They have voter IDs. He cited in with that decision that voters have to have IDs to vote, thereby disenfranchising about 80,000 African Americans in the state of North Carolina. So, you know, these are such critical moments that we're living in. And one of the things that really makes me feel really great is when I see all of you here. When I see all of you here. And I do think that we could have some influence in the Supreme Court judge, and I'll tell you how. We know that a lot of us are here from California, but a lot of us, like my family, we immigrated to California from New Mexico, okay? And a lot of people came from other states. So if you have relatives in other states, Arizona, you know, these other states throughout the Midwest or the South, it's really easy if you can just pick up your phone, give them a call, ask them to pick up their phone and call their senator to say, do not confirm Kavanaugh for the Supreme Court, okay? Do not confirm. loud so people can hear us. Okay? I don't know what part of LA they're in, if there aren't any here, but anyway, just be really loud. So, here goes the question, okay? Who's got the power?
We got the power.
Okay, some people aren't sure. Okay, so let's do it really, really loud. Okay, everybody. It's okay. Got the power?
She got the power.
Okay, are we gonna go out there and take control, make the